Whether you get your water from a well or a municipal water system, you could be exposed to PFAS. Those forever chemicals are contaminating cities statewide, which is one reason why the Wisconsin Department of Natural Resources says all water systems should be tested.
News 8 Now's Dua Israr spoke to the DNR water expert who says testing is the only way communities can create a plan on what actions to take next. Dua?
Amy and Ken, currently the DNR offers voluntary sampling for any municipality that wants to test its waters, but eventually water testing will be a requirement for cities like La Crosse. In a statement released on Friday, the DNR recommends all municipal and public water systems to sample their water for PFAS.
Sampling for PFAS is the only real way to know where the impacts are.
Kyle Burton, a field operations director for the DNR, says the DNR will provide a free voluntary sampling project for municipal water systems.
We will facilitate that and pay for PFAS sampling at any municipal system within the state.
La Crosse County has 11 municipal water systems. Communities including Onalaska and West Salem have already tested their systems. The city of La Crosse has only tested its 3 wells near the airport. All 3 were contaminated and shut down. According to the city's website, it has 15 wells in use. Those wells have not been tested.
I don't believe the city of La Crosse has.
News 8 Now reached out to City Council President Barb Jansen about why the city hasn't tested all of its wells. Jansen said she had no comment. But starting in 2023, the DNR will require public water systems to test for PFAS. Public water systems such as the one in the city of La Crosse.
2 PFAS compounds, the most studied and the most known about, PFOA and PFOS.
The Wisconsin DNR set the standard for acceptable levels of PFAS to 70 parts per trillion. That's equivalent to 70 drops of water in an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
70 parts per trillion will trigger required corrective action.
The Environmental Protection Agency's advisory on PFAS was also 70 parts until this June. Based on evolving research, the agency released interim acceptable PFAS levels of less than 1 part per trillion and plans to release the final levels in 2023. Burton says the DNR will change Wisconsin's standard based on those 2023 results.
We are required to not be less stringent than EPA's Safe Drinking Water Act rules.
Burton says regardless of how much PFAS is detected, communities should know the results.
Those results can be or should be included on their annual Consumer Confidence Report.
And if communities are concerned about PFAS levels in their water, they should reach out to the DNR. I contacted the city of La Crosse officials in June to ask if they would take part in the voluntary testing available from the DNR, and I also contacted officials several times today if the city would test all of its public water systems following the recommendation. We are still waiting on an answer from the city. They have said repeatedly they tested and shut down 3 wells on French Island that were contaminated with PFAS, but we are still waiting on a comment about the other 15 wells.
That's quite a lot of them. Thanks a lot, Dua. The DNR has been providing free bottled water for communities that have been impacted by PFAS, including the town of Campbell.